Hi, I'm Dr. Melissa Josselson on behalf of Rescue Natural Supplements, and today we are talking about brain focus, how to improve and support your brain health throughout your life. So on today's agenda will be how to, of course, prevent cognitive decline, which is common with aging, and most people will experience some mild decline throughout their lifetime. But we want to focus on how to support and optimize brain health, and the main areas for which we will focus will be lifestyle and a couple of key supplements, mainly the Rescue Brain Focus and the Rescue Calamine. So first we want to just talk about what is cognition. So most people think of memory when it comes to thinking about cognition and cognitive functioning, but it's really the ability to think, to learn, and remember. And in addition to that, it also is the basis for how we judge, for how we concentrate, for how we plan, and for how we organize. So a lot is encompassed in cognitive functioning, and that's what we will be talking about today. So some facts to start off with. Dementia affects an estimated 30 to 40 million people worldwide, and that number is expected to triple by 2050 due to an aging population and other factors. So this is a topic that is important for everyone because either you or someone you know will be affected by age-related cognitive decline in your lifetime. What's important to note is that memory loss is not inevitable. You really do have to use it or lose it and, live a healthy lifestyle, but it can be prevented, and you don't necessarily have to suffer forgetfulness and all of those changes that tend to occur with aging. There are many ways to support and improve brain health, and that's what, of course, we will delve into shortly. So to start off, what actually causes age-related cognitive decline? And really the answer to that is multiple factors are involved. The first being a structural change that can occur with age, and that's the hippocampus, which if you can look at the bottom of the screen there, it's shaded in blue. The hippocampus is the area that is involved in learning and memory association, and that area of the brain deteriorates with age. So that's actually a structural change that occurs. In addition to that, both men and women experience declining hormone levels. So mainly for women, you've got that decline in estrogen that occurs after menopause, and with men, testosterone can lower with age. You've got insulin resistance, which is a factor in type 2 diabetes, which certainly can affect brain health. In addition, oxidative stress and chronic inflammation both can take a toll on your health in any parts of the body, but especially your brain as well. And then also suboptimal nutrition. So if your brain does not have the necessary nutrients it needs to function properly, it's going to suffer. So it's very critical to make sure you have adequate amounts of key nutrients such as the omega DHA that's in our Rescue Calamine. So how do we want to improve brain health? In addition to the supplements, as I mentioned earlier, we really want to talk about the various lifestyle factors that can influence our brain health. And the first one is to normalize or maintain a healthy blood pressure. The second being manage stress. Really want to focus on eating a healthy diet. Exercising regularly is key to brain health in addition to your other health. Sleeping is critical, getting sufficient amounts of sleep and good quality of sleep. And then, of course, adding in the few key supplements. So blood pressure, this is why blood pressure is so important when it comes to brain health, not just heart health. Observational studies show that having high blood pressure in midlife, which is defined as being in your 40s to 60s, increases the risk of cognitive decline later in life. So it's setting you up to have problems with age. And except for age, hypertension is the most important risk factor for vascular problems in the brain that can lead to stroke and dementia. So if your blood pressure is not in a healthy range, if it is above 120/80, then you really want to take the steps necessary to reduce your blood pressure and keep it in a normal range. If you are looking for help with supplements, we have a couple of key supplements outlined here. The Rescue Oracine is a fabulous option for that, as well as the Rescue Cell Power, which contains coenzyme Q10, as well as additional antioxidants. Of course, our omegas, so something like the Rescue 1250 has been shown to have a positive effect on blood pressure. And then the Rescue MG also is very relaxing and can help to lower blood pressure. And many of us are actually deficient in magnesium, which can be a cause of high blood pressure. So these are some key supplements to consider if blood pressure is an issue for you. Diet. We can't ignore diet when it comes to health, and especially our brain health. So we know that diets high in sugar increase the formation of the protein implicated in Alzheimer's disease. We also know that people with diabetes, which of course involves having elevated blood sugar levels, have a fourfold risk for developing Alzheimer's. In addition, even people with prediabetes, and prediabetes is elevated blood sugars, but not to the extent to be diagnosed with diabetes. So between about 100 and 125 milligrams per deciliter would be prediabetes. They still have an increased risk for having pre-dementia or mild cognitive impairment. So maintaining healthy blood sugar is very, very key to brain health. And if your blood sugars are elevated, whether you have prediabetes or full-fledged type 2 diabetes, we've got some key supplements here that can help to optimize your blood sugar levels and thus support your brain health. Our Rescue 105 Max is wonderful, designed to naturally, support your blood sugar levels, to keep them in an optimal range. It's an all-natural product. The Rescue Lanolin C Fiber will help to prevent after-the-meal blood sugar spikes and thus help to keep blood sugars more optimal. And then there's also the Rescue Metabolock, which is wonderful for, we've been talking about blood pressure and blood sugars, and that will address multiple factors as well as obesity. So that will address multiple factors, but these are some key supplements for optimizing blood sugars. Talking in more detail about what to eat and not just what not to eat is the Mediterranean diet is one of the healthiest diets out there that has abundant research for our health in general, and that encompasses our brain health. We know that it's beneficial in the prevention of various conditions linked to the aging brain, including cognitive decline, and it has also been linked to lower rates of dementia. So the Mediterranean diet is heavily plant-based, natural, locally caught foods, but plenty of greens and your vegetables, fruits, legumes, healthy fats. So olive oil is a big one that they consume a lot of. So if you are eating those foods on a regular basis, that is going to act as a protective mechanism to prevent cognitive decline later in life. So we know that a study showed that the Mediterranean diet was protective for participants who had mild cognitive decline. It was protective for those who had advanced cognitive decline, and it even showed positive effects when looking specifically at Alzheimer's. So whether you're trying to prevent or even support and improve your brain health, this is really the diet to go to. There are some specific foods that are key for memory. I just mentioned healthy fats, so healthy fats like olive oil or avocados and so forth, those are great to include in your diet. Blueberries are very high in antioxidants and have a nice affinity for supporting brain health. Walnuts, if you even look at what a walnut looks like, it looks like a little bit of a brain, and that is another healthy fat and healthy food to support your brain health. Berries as well are just very high in antioxidants, so they help to prevent the free radical damage that can occur, which of course can damage the brain and affect cognitive functioning. Spinach, and then also coffee and tea, and the caffeine in there is positive for memory and really can boost especially short-term memory, but some studies recently have suggested long-term memory benefits as well. So stress. We know that stress is a factor for our overall health. We know it's bad for us, so to speak, and yes, it does take a toll on your memory and brain functioning. So chronic stress actually damages that hippocampus that I mentioned earlier, which again is down here in the blue region, and that's the region of the brain linked with learning, memory, and emotions. So that's why that word and that part of the brain is going to come up over and over. But ultimately, we know that stress kills brain cells, number one, and then cortisol, which is the main hormone released by the adrenal glands in response to stress, also decreases the rate at which new brain cells are made. So that's not a good combination to have. So if stress is an issue for you, you really want to take measures to help yourself cope better with stress so that your brain can stay healthy. Exercise. We know that exercise is a key to health, and that falls into your brain health as well as the rest of your body. So many studies have suggested that the parts of the brain that control thinking and memory, which is our cortex, actually are greater in volume in the people who exercise versus people who don't. So here we're talking about physical structural changes in the brain that can occur with exercise. In addition, aerobic or cardiovascular exercise appears to boost the size of the hippocampus, which again is, focused on memory and learning. So this really has strong benefits to boost the brain. We know it can slow brain aging by about 10 years. It can lower our risks of Alzheimer's disease. It increases blood flow, of course, which helps to create new brain cells. And then there are benefits for aerobic and cardiovascular exercise as well as resistance exercise. So you definitely want to try to include both in your routine. But overall, exercise improves alertness, concentration, and just your overall cognitive functioning. So it is critical to get that exercise in there every day or as much as possible. It just really makes your brain work better, and that's the ultimate goal. So sleep is very, very critical for health and especially brain health. And I don't know about you, but I think most people really enjoy getting a good night's sleep and feel better after they do. So what happens when we're sleeping? Believe it or not, there are certain parts of the brain that are more active during sleep than in the daytime. So a lot happens during the time that we're sleeping. Sleep affects memory. You really need sleep to consolidate your memories. If you're not sleeping, that will impair your ability to focus and to learn efficiently. Sleep deprivation impacts the hippocampus just even one night. And I think most people can really feel the difference if they have a very poor night of sleep. So again, it's very critical to aim for that good quality sleep nightly. Again, we need sleep to consolidate memories, to master and learn new information. It is really that strong of a factor to consider. And also it helps you to just stay sharp, to help your brain be clear, to complete your everyday tasks, to focus better. And it also, sleep helps to clear your mind. It literally helps to flush out toxins that can accumulate during the day. So it ultimately helps to restore your brain at night. Okay, so then we have a couple of key supplements. We want to talk about Rescue Brain Focus, which is one of our newer supplements, and it's excellent for supporting overall cognitive functioning. And then we also have the Rescue Calamine, which we're singling out because it is higher in the omega-3 DHA, but of course the other omegas are also helpful as they contain DHA as well. So the Rescue Calamine, again, higher in DHA, and that is critical for brain health. We know that DHA is found naturally in high concentrations in the brain, and it's basically forming the building blocks of the cell membranes in your brain and your nerve cells. So we know that it's very, very critical, again, as support for these critical areas of the brain that are responsible for memory, language, and attention. It's useful for prevention or cognitive impairment. We know that being deficient or having low levels of DHA are associated with cognitive decline. So by maintaining adequate amounts of DHA and making sure you're not deficient in this critical omega-3, you're supporting cognitive functioning, your memory, and also your mood. So it's very, very critical to make sure you have this necessary ingredient. And then we have our Rescue Brain Focus. So now we'll talk about what's in it, what does it do, and then also who should use it. So one of the first and the main ingredients in the Rescue Brain Focus is called Alphasize, or alpha GPC. The alpha GPC stands for alpha glycerol phosphorylcholine, and choline is a natural compound found in the brain that is very important for cognitive functioning. So we need adequate amounts of choline in our bodies. It helps to make a very key neurotransmitter called acetylcholine. And acetylcholine is really this chemical that's used and utilized by the hippocampus, that region of the brain we keep coming back to, that's associated in creating memories and, of course, other cognitive functions. So again, that's our hippocampus where we keep coming back to. And then the alpha GPC, so this is what it does when you take it. It can improve recall, so immediate recall, reaction time and mood, and having faster memory recall. And then even it helps to improve retrieval of memories later on. So it really helps with the retention of memories and learning new information. But in addition to that, it helps to protect our brain cells and memories, and it helps to protect against cognitive decline. And it also supports optimal brain functioning and can counteract cognitive impairments. So again, whether you're trying to prevent cognitive decline or whether you're already starting to experience cognitive decline, may it be mild or moderate or even something severe like dementia or Alzheimer's, this is where Rescue Brain Focus comes in. So phosphatidylserine, or the SerinAid, phosphatidylserine is this phospholipid that contains amino acids and fatty acids. And just like we were talking about in with the DHA being a structural component of your cell membranes, this is the same for the phosphatidylserine. So it's found in high concentrations in the brain, and it's essential to help your brain neurons, which are basically your brain cells, and it helps to maintain both memory function and neuroplasticity, so the ability of your brain to change and adapt. And then it is found in soybeans, in case you're wondering where it's found. It has a lot of benefits. So it has been shown to aid in the slowdown of age-related cognitive decline, which would involve, concentration and learning, memory, and even vocabulary skills. It may improve the symptoms of Alzheimer's. It's even been used to treat ADD and ADHD symptoms. So that would be more of, that mental focus and memory. And then it lowers cortisol. So for those who are experiencing age-related changes or brain-related changes due to stress, which a lot of people can notice, trouble remembering or having brain fog, this will help to lower that cortisol, which can become too elevated, and help your brain health with regards to that. The gastrodon is both neuroprotective and neuroregenerative, so think of it as like a brain shield. So it's just really protecting your brain and all of its cells. It has been shown to help with memory loss. It fights the main mechanisms of aging. So who hasn't thought, well, gosh, where did I leave my keys today? Or where did I put this? Or where did I put that? Those are the main mechanisms. But then it can be, gradual onset disorders such as Alzheimer's, and even rapid onset disorders like having a stroke and having brain-related changes due to that. So in addition, it also rebalances your brain chemicals or neurotransmitters. So there's a lot of different ways in which the gastrodon helps. Grapeseed extract. So the biggest thing about the grapeseed extract is it's very, very high in antioxidants, and it is also important for reducing inflammation in the brain. It helps to bolster the structural integrity of your brain cells. And again, it is shown to prevent cognitive decline and even prevent the damage associated with Alzheimer's. So those are some pretty powerful effects. Blueberries, that was in one of the healthy fruits, if you can remember, associated with memory. And they contain very, very potent phenols or phenolic compounds, which are specific antioxidants. They're called anthocyanidins, which have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. And it's associated with reduced risks of dementia, improved cognitive performance and normal aging, better language and verbal memory, along with learning. So blueberries are definitely a powerful brain food. The ashwagandha also has a lot of various benefits, but it supports memory and intellect. It's both neuroprotective, meaning that it helps to prevent the brain damage, and also can slow and stop and even reverse neurological decline. So that's quite a bit to do with the ashwagandha. And also, similar to the phosphatidylserine, it's a big stress reliever. It helps our body adapt to stress. If cortisol is too low, if it's too low, it can help to raise it. But if it's too high, which can cause a problem in brain health, it can help to lower cortisol levels as well and improve brain health and functioning in that realm. So hops contains a specific flavonoid called xanthohumol, which is found in beer, if that's sounding familiar. Most people are aware of that. But they've had studies, and it does seem to improve cognitive functioning. And not only that, it helps to protect against oxidative damage to brain cells linked to neurodegenerative diseases. So it is really important, again, for basically protecting those brain cells and protecting against cognitive decline. So rosemary, if you've ever just smelled rosemary, it's strong, it's potent. And so it really has strong effects to improve memory by increasing blood flow to the brain and improving concentration. And again, as I mentioned, just sniffing rosemary has been shown to improve memory by 75%. So who should take Rescue Brain Focus? That's really an important question, right? So whether you want to prevent age-related cognitive decline, maybe you're not experiencing any right now, but maybe you're getting older and you're concerned about it, this is a wonderful supplement to start taking to prevent those effects from occurring. If you're already experiencing symptoms of cognitive impairment, let's say that are just mild, you're just starting to notice that forgetfulness, or that you're not feeling as sharp as you usually are, then you can take this to help to start to improve those symptoms. Also, if you've got a more severe condition, such as dementia or Alzheimer's, this can help to improve those symptoms potentially. So whether you're trying to prevent, or you have mild cognitive impairment, or you have significant cognitive impairment, you can take the Rescue Brain Focus. So in summary, we want to talk about, while age-related cognitive changes are normal, and most people will experience them with age, significant memory decline is not inevitable. If you really make the effort to live a healthy lifestyle, such as eating a healthy diet like the Mediterranean diet, exercising regularly, sleeping 7 to 9 hours per night, and focusing on coping well with stress, then you really can help to prevent a lot of the common changes associated with aging. In addition, if you add in the supplements that we discussed, both the Rescue Brain Focus and the Rescue Calmarine, you can both improve cognitive functioning and help to prevent cognitive decline. I'm Dr. Melissa Josselson with Rescue Natural Health Supplements. Thanks for watching.